Guys, I have been torturing myself, just mentally torturing myself over the past few days on what direction we should take in this episode because our cup window has opened a little bit sooner than we planned. I mean, let's be honest. We weren't supposed to make the playoffs in Season 3. Yes, signing Steven Stamkos made our team much, much better, but we overperformed in that last season. We outperformed all expectation. Now, when talking about the rebuild, offensively, we're set. We are absolutely set. We have plenty of top six guys who are going to fill out this roster. Defensively, though, is the problem. Because here's what it's supposed to be. Trampkin, Stetcher, Parayko, along with Chychrun, a fifth defender, and then somebody, whether it's Tanev, Corrado, or Bowie, as that sixth defenseman. The problem is, we weren't able to sign Victor Hedman. We weren't given the chance, and that was going to be our guy. We need somebody like that. Two guys in the 90s. We need Chychrun and his partner, and the problem is we don't have one of those guys, and we can't get one of those guys. The problem right now, I have been trying to work out any trade possible, including 5 first-round picks for PK Subban. Teams just will not budge. But coming up here, and actually, hold on, let me show you really quick. That's why I came over here, to show you the value of these first-round picks that we have this season as the Buffalo Sabres, the Boston Bruins, Montreal. We have some good picks this year, so I certainly feel tempted and feel the need to use them to acquire somebody. But really, the only people we can acquire are guys who might turn into that or will be high 80s. We cannot guarantee that they will turn in to that 90-plus overall guy. Like, I could get Shea Theodore. I could get Shane Gostisbehere. There are guys I can go out and get, and this is so tough for me to put my faith in this because we were burned by it before with Hedman, Brent Burns, and with Kevin Shattenkirk. There are players coming up with expiring contracts, and it's so tough to put my faith in it. But if we can get a hold of one of these guys, including Erik Karlsson, if we could get our hands on Erik Karlsson, if we could get our hands on Drew Doughty, or if we could get our hands right now on the leading scoring defenseman, Oliver Ekman-Larsson, who I've tried to trade for, and again, teams just will not budge, and that is the type of defenseman we need to be with Chychrun. So moving forward with this episode, what's the game plan? We stay the course. We're not going to make a trade at this exact moment. We are currently in 4th in our division in a wild card spot, and we still have quite a bit of time before the trade deadline. And around that time is when I'll start looking to see if maybe just one of these teams are willing to give somebody up, and maybe we can make a deal. But those are the type of defensemen we need. If we walk into the draft with 3 first-round picks, I'll have no problem in trading down so we have better value in years to come if need be. I'm not sure how to approach this other than right now we are going to sim up to this game against the Philadelphia Flyers, the best team in the league. But our next game is against the Jets, last year's Stanley Cup champions, who are now in 29th. It'll be an interesting sim period. We have, 6 games? 6 games. Yeah, that's math. 6 games. Let's see what happens. Now, we've simmed ahead 1 extra game beyond the Philly game because Thatcher Demko was injured. Ty Edmonds came in and got us 3 straight wins. So not a bad stretch of games with a 4-3 record and an overtime loss in there as well. Nice to see a Demko injury didn't absolutely kill us, but we are still stuck in 4th place in our division. The race is very, very tight. We know it's not going to be an easy road. We have messed around with the lines a little bit more here, and the current combination seems to be working out a little bit. We've also changed up some player types with Eric Cornell. I haven't switched certain players back to like center or whatever if I've done something like that. But Thatcher Demko, who is not fully healthy, hopefully he will be, or hopefully that won't really affect him in this game against the Penguins. But we are going to do a decent bit of simming here again. We are going up to, you know what, if the trade deadline's coming up let's sim the next 4 games. We'll sim the next 4 games. We'll take a look to see if any deals have been done and if there are certain players who are available for a trade. No trades to be made and no blockbuster trades to report on aside from Anton Strawman being traded and Yuri Laterra. But in that stretch of games, the loss to Pittsburgh is followed up by 3 consecutive wins, and we're going to sim these next 4 games. That will put us into the month of March, and hopefully, we get an offer for somebody or anything, because I am certainly getting eager to pull the trigger on any trade at this point to make us better. I know I should, but is it worth the asking price? A good stretch of games for us. A loss to the Eastern Conference opponent in the Florida Panthers, but 3 straight wins over Canadian teams, including against a divisional rival in the Edmonton Oilers. That gives us just 2 games before the trade deadline, I should say, but we have moved up into 3rd place right now. Some slight complications. Colton Parayko out for a couple of days. We'll miss at least the next game. We call up Alex Peters to avoid not to avoid cap situations or waivers. I'd rather just call him up than Chychrun, or I can't call up Valiev either because he's injured. I don't want to screw with the morale. You guys know how it is. If I stammer on a bit too much in this episode, I apologize, but I am tired as hell. But I wanted to get this done. Let's take a look now and see actually if any interesting trades have been made at this point. And no, still the same group of trades. Martin Mernzen to the LA Kings from the Maple Leafs, but no big deals have been made. We're simming this game against Colorado, and we are simming up to the day, to trade deadline day. Obviously, I wish this was like previous installments of the game, where there was actually the phone business and an actual deadline day. We lose 2-1 to the Avs. I'll take care of scouting after. We'll get Colton Parayko back in the lineup before the next game. I want to see, though, if any trades are made. And, of course, this will give us one more chance to take a look and see if there is a last-minute deal to be made. But I don't know what to do. And the trades have started. Holy shit. Andrew Ladd to the Islanders for a first and Carter Verhaeghe. Gustav Nyquist to Florida for a first. Winnipeg gets Malcolm Subban, Puljujärvi, and Anton Bleed for Blake Wheeler. Blake Wheeler, once again a Bruin. That's a trade I was considering doing in our own GM mode. Reto Berra is off to Chicago for Calvert and Prout. Wisniewski, Palmieri involved in a deal. Jaden Schwartz is off to Philly. So all of a sudden, a shitload of big trades, but no gigantic trades involving top-tier defensemen. Let's take a look and see if we're going to be the ones to make that happen. I don't know what to do, guys. I don't know what to do. This trade would be accepted. It would be Chris Tanev, Madison Bowie, so obviously we would be calling up Chychrun, Slepyshev, who is not having the best season right now. I think he's at, 16 points? He's up to 18 points. So he's actually doing relatively well with the new line combos. A first, or 2 firsts in this year's draft, essentially, for Oliver Ekman-Larsson. Do I make a trade with this much value when there's a chance we could get him in free agency for nothing if we just wait? I mean, look at what these 2 first-rounders are worth. Buffalo and Boston's picks. Look at Buffalo's pick. That very well could be a top 5 pick. Are we willing to give up this much just to get Oliver Ekman-Larsson? I'm sure we'd be able to re-sign him, but do we give up that much at the chance that we could get him, Carlson, or Doughty for free in just a few months? Guys, I'm going to end the episode here. I'm going to end the episode here, and I know, normally we're through the season by this point. I need your input. I need your input. This is the biggest decision that we have had to make in this series so far. Do we make this trade? Tanev, Madison Bowie, however you pronounce it, Anton Slepyshev, and 2 firsts for Oliver Ekman-Larsson. Now we cannot get, or we most likely cannot, actually hold on, you know what? to make sure. I know for a fact we can't get Drew Doughty. Like, I know for a fact. You know what? We'll take a look at a couple of the other defensemen. Yeah, we're not getting Drew Doughty. His value is way too high. Aaron Ekblad might be a possibility. His value might be just a little bit too high. I think his value is probably just a little bit too high. Is Ekman, or not Ekman Larson's, is Aaron Ekblad's. I might explore that opportunity. I think it's just a little bit too high. We wouldn't want Ryan Suter. PK Subban, he's kind of in the Ekblad boat. PK Subban, do we potentially go after him? I know for a fact, though, what we were offering for Ekman Larsson goes through. And then the Ottawa Senators, Erik Karlsson is also right there with Ekblad. And with, who the fuck did we even just look at, man? I don't even know. I can't even remember. With PK Subban. So he's right there in that same bracket. Guys, what do we do? Do we make that trade for that defenseman? Do we go truly all out at the risk of giving up that much only to learn, hey, you could have signed him for free and really had a strong draft in between? Let's look at the standings. The Buffalo Sabres are in 27th. I don't think they'll finish last. Right now they have 10 points on the Jets. But what do we do? What do we do, guys? Do we make that trade for Oliver Ekman-Larsson? Do we potentially go after someone in the next higher bracket? I don't know if it would go through, with a Subban, with a Karlsson. Just what do we do, guys? Let me know. That's it for this episode. Swear to God, that is it for this episode. As always, though, if you have enjoyed, make sure to drop a like down below. It helps out the channel, and I would really appreciate it. Subscribe for more to continue following the series. Don't forget, I normally put up 2 different polls. The one that is attached to the video with the little eye icon in the top right-hand corner. And I also tend to put a straw poll down in the description. Vote not only what defenders do we prioritize, and just simply do we make the trade in general. I look forward to your answer. Let me know. And in the next episode, we will finish the rest of the season. We will find out who we hopefully play in round 1. And just, I don't know. I don't know, guys. I look forward to it, though. I'll catch you next time.